Good morning to everyone. Last class we discussed about paper chromatography. Paper chromatography types, that is ascending paper chromatography as well as descending paper chromatography. Still two more topics are left over. One is horizontal paper chromatography and another one is two-dimensional paper chromatography. So before entering into this topic, once again we will discuss what is paper chromatography. In the paper chromatography already we discussed stationary phase is liquid. Similarly, mobile phase is also liquid. Hence we call this as liquid chromatography. And what is the principle behind this paper chromatography? That is distribution coefficient or partition coefficient. Right. Now we will see what is this horizontal paper chromatography. In this horizontal paper chromatography, the paper you need to select should be in the circular shape. Whereas in ascending or descending paper chromatography, it may be in the square shape or it may be in the rectangular shape. Now take the center point of this paper and here you just apply the sample what you want to separate by using a micropipette as a spot. Now with the help of a wick, what is meant by wick? Wick means which is the cutted portion of the paper. With the help of this wick, you need to apply the solvent here. If you apply the solvent here from the bottom, then obviously after some time this sample, depending upon the number of compounds present in it, it will show like this. It will give circular bands. This higher circular band is called what? Solvent front. Let us suppose B is more polar, A is less polar. Obviously this is less polar compound and which is very close to this one is called more polar compound. If these are colored compounds, then automatically these circles will appear as a color. Once this solvent, that is mobile phase, spreads into this horizontal paper, when it reaches to 4/5 of this circle, you need to remove that paper and you need to dry it for some time. And this circle you need to draw with a pencil. Similarly, how we calculated in ascending or descending paper chromatography, same here also we need to do the calculation. That is, from this spot, this distance is noted as D1, and from this spot up to this line it is noted as D2, and from the spot to this distance is noted as D3. How we are calculating the RF values? RF value of A means distance travelled by A by distance travelled by solvent front. Similarly, the RF value of B is distance travelled by the B by distance travelled by the solvent front. So in the same way we are going to calculate RF values even in horizontal paper chromatography. But why we need to use this horizontal paper chromatography instead of ascending and descending paper chromatography? In the ascending and descending paper chromatography, our after the development of the sample, the spots are like this. Suppose this is the spotted one, you will get the lines like this. Means very small oval shape, very small circles you will observe here. But in the horizontal paper chromatography, the resolution is very good because this such big circle is there for us to calculate this one. So if you took very concentrated solutions, then these resolutions are very close to each other. In such conditions, horizontal paper chromatography is highly useful. Let us suppose the sample what I want to separate contains X, X dash and Y. Sometimes when you use ascending or descending paper chromatography, it will give only two spots. because x and x dash are becoming very close like this. You may think that this is total as 1, but if you separate this sample by using this horizontal paper chromatography, then automatically you will get 3 resolutions like this. So that's why horizontal paper chromatography is more useful comparative to ascending and descending paper chromatography. For your understanding purpose, I took this circular paper. Actually మనం ఇలా దీన్ని పేపర్తో టచ్ చేయకూడదు. whenever we are doing this experiment, use the gloves while touching it, or using some tongs specially designed one. By using that one, first you need to fold these things like this, right? And then next you need to mark down at the circular shape. See here, this I am just putting some pencil one here, and now what I need to do is I need to cut a little bit portion of this one, a little portion of this one. So now this is like this, right? And I already made this one. This is called what? Wick. Wick means you just take a paper and simply children will do like this, right? I'll show you like this. You will do like, sometimes you will do like this, right? So in the same way I just prepared this small wick. Okay, and now this wick you need to place from the bottom. From the bottom like this, right? So it will stand like this. Okay, now this paper or wick is used to place in the bowl or a petri plate which contains the mobile face. Let us suppose this is the plate, petri plate, which contains the mobile face. You need to place this one like this. Okay, of course it will fall like this, and of course this length should not be this much. Length should be very little bit. Okay, right? And now using a micro pipette, you need to apply the sample like this. Let us suppose this is the micro pipette, the tip of this one. The tip of this one is the micro pipette. You need to dip into that one, and you just apply as a spot here. Apply as a spot here. Just already I marked 4 pen notations here, right? Apply as a spot here, apply as a spot here, apply as a spot here, apply as a spot here. Suppose I want to separate 4 different samples. You just apply the 4 samples here. And because we are dipping this one in the petri plate which already contains solvent, obviously that solvent will percolate into the paper and it will come up, and slowly what will happen, it will spreads into this horizontal paper in the form of circles, and in the form of circles, right? So when the solvent, that wet one will approach us to 4/5 part of this horizontal paper chromatography. In such conditions, you need to remove this paper from that petri plate and you need to dry it for some time. Okay, after the drying, you will observe the circles. After this drying, you will observe the circles like this. Okay, so that is the more advantage of this horizontal paper chromatography. And the next one is 2-dimensional paper chromatography. Sometimes while doing this descending or ascending paper chromatography, if you took a more number of samples, in such conditions that circles will come very close to each other. in that conditions RF values are very close, so that's why we can't predict the sample. Yes, this is A, this is B, or this is C, like this. Let us suppose I want to separate mixture of amino acids. For that I am selecting 11 types of amino acids. Because these amino acids are having very close RF values, one-dimensional paper chromatography will not give the better results for us. Let us suppose take a paper which is named as A, B, C, D, and this is the spotted one. I am applying the sample here, and when we are placing this in the chamber through the descending paper chromatography, after some time I will observe the spots like this. One spot I got here, and one spot I got here, and there is another spot I got here, and of course this is the solvent front. Now here for this up to this one, this is what descending paper chromatography. Here the solvent mobile phase what I selected is N-butanol is to acetic acid is to water, which are in the ratio 12:3:5. So by doing descending paper chromatography, I observed only 3 spots here. Okay, now turn this paper to 90 degrees. So if we turn it to 90 degrees, what will happen? This CA will come here, and this DB will come here. I'm just turning into 90 degrees, right? So in such conditions, these 3 spots now I need to show like this, right? Again you apply the solvent here. For this one I am selecting the solvent, another mobile phase we need to select, that is phenol is to water in the ratio 500:125 ml. Again by doing this descending paper chromatography, finally I will get the results like this. Here this is my so the 11 amino acids will appear in the form of 11 circles with 11 different RF values. So that's why whenever the compounds which are having very close RF values, two-dimensional paper chromatography will give better results for us. So by using this paper chromatography, which is very important to our exams also, and it is important for short answer questions, because they may ask only descending paper chromatography or ascending paper chromatography, and what is horizontal paper chromatography and what is two-dimensional paper chromatography. So that's it about this paper chromatography, and in the next video I will explain HPLC or gas chromatography.